Hello, gamers. It me. Where have I been? Where have I been? Where have I been? Oh boy. Let me. Well, I've been busy at work, at school, at work, like job work for monies, and with relationships, with holidays, with mental health and physical health, and all of the things that accumulate into living on this great, wonderful earth of ours as a human being. Um, Basically, it's just been school. And then over winter break, just winter breaking. It's kind of towards the end of winter break right now. It is January 7th, Wednesday of 2026. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy holidays to everyone who celebrates the late year holidays. And Happy New Year to everybody who celebrates the Gregorian calendar. Uh, yeah, so like I've just been just taking it day by day, as you know, and I figured, hey, what the hey, I should make a video and I should like talk to the people, and by the people I mean the people that I already talked to. Um, I have a little bit of gameplay here. Hopefully, I'll be making more videos soon, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a update on my struggles, my uh, state of mind, if you will, and maybe compare it as I usually do, or at least have in the past. Usually would be a little bit unfair considering my last upload was, let's see, September 21st of 2025. So basically, school really hit me hard. The work really hit me hard. I am still kind of bouncing in between jobs, just trying to find a good fit, something that I can really grow into. Right now I'm doing like AI training on the side, which, insert AI slap jokes here, please. Please do. I totally understand the jokes, but the way that I see it is, it's kind of it works with my schedule. It pays okay. It's not retail stress, which obviously we talked about before, and yeah, it if anything will be a useful skill down the line if this AI thing turns out to not be a fad as many people believe it won't. So that's what I'm doing right now. Kind of having mixed success with that. Still trying to focus on school. I have a few harder classes this semester. This is my last semester till I graduate. My very last semester. Oh my goodness, you can hear the exasperation in my voice. You can just hear it. I hope. I know I can hear it in my own voice. I know I feel it. Um, yeah, it's been a long, tumultuous journey for me. I have not had the. It's not over. Laughing to hide real pain, but it's almost over. Fingers crossed. Hell or high water. We're gonna finish this semester. I've been in college since 2018, and through that, I've lived through a plague, multiple hospitalizations, uh, a major change, like a school major change. Obviously, many major changes using the other connotation of the word, denotation of the word. Uh, but yeah, I'm ready to move on with my life, and that's part of the reason I've kind of been bouncing around jobs and trying to be so picky is because I after college it's kind of like career, it's like the world of unemployment, as the kids say, or I don't know who says that, but I said that, so write it down. Um, Regardless, that's why I'm being so picky about career and what's it. Haven't really even been playing a lot of video games, honestly. Spent time with girlfriend and her family over Quime, as we call it. And just been doing a lot of work as much as possible to try and save money to move in together, to have money for school, to have money for rent, to have money for all the things that we want to do in life, and still not having enough money for it. But that's kind of that's the way it is. But I never forget that. I try not to forget. Sometimes I fail, but I try not to forget how lucky I am to have the opportunities that I do already, despite not necessarily getting everything that I want. But yeah. Yeah. It's been a rough journey. And I have recently found solace in this game, Jedi Fallen Order. Or what is it called? it's the new Cal Kestis game, the second one. I played the first one when it came out. I played it on the Grandmaster Jedi difficulty, but bitched out when it came to the final boss with the third sister, I think it was. Whichever one was the last Inquisitor battle before you met Vader. Spoilers. But anyway, I bitched out and and I think I took a break after a while because I was so infuriated. I was kind of in a different state of mind back then. Whenever that game came out, it had to be like 2019, 2020. But yeah, I turned the difficulty down on the last boss battle, and I am determined to not do that this time and maintain the Grandmaster Jedi difficulty the entire way through. It's really interesting, this game. A lot of people give it shit. It's EA game. Talk about slop. But yeah, it's I enjoy it. It's kind of like a Dark Souls-esque Star Wars game, and I was talking to my friends the other day about, like, while I was playing, I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, I think in the next recording session I have this moment where I'm like where it was a really cool kind of like combination of force powers and lightsaber action, and it just looks badass. Like, I don't really ascribe to like it really makes you feel like blank. Donkey has a whole series of jokes on that. But I really enjoy the game at times, and then other times I just want to smash all three of my monitors, not just the one the game's playing on, all three monitors, because of how horrible I am and how difficult it is. And it's really compared to things like Elden Ring, compared to Dark Souls, compared to Sekiro, whatever it's called. It's really not that hard, ultimately. But, I don't really play those games, and I play this because Star Wars keeps me going. Because those games, I get so pissed off that it's like, I don't even care about the story. But with this, it's Star Wars, so it's like the kid in me, it keeps me going in that regard. So, but, it's nice to have little things like this to look forward to at the end of the day. I've also been playing Fallout 76. I'll probably have some footage of that. And I've been playing a lot of D&D. Have not been playing my second edition series that I started. I have been saving that for hopefully, especially right now while I still have time and I'm doing break, might make another D&D second edition video. Also changed around some things with the editing software, the voice recording software. I bought a Humble Bundle for Vegas software, which I know has its own like stigma. At least as far as I remember growing up, it had a stigma. But it's better than what I was using, DaVinci Resolve or whatever it's called, and Audacity. This gives me a little bit more control over hopefully making things higher quality, and I truly hope that it is higher quality, because if it's not, it's like but the editing is substantially smoother. The previews are substantially smoother. We'll see how the exporting is. But yeah, I'm, little things that just make life easier. Little splurges here and there. I appreciate things like that, and I think that it's important to take things like that. Anyway, second edition. Hopefully we'll try and record a video on that later today and try and maybe make a Fallout 76 kind of like highlights, try and make a D&D highlights for the Tomb of Annihilation campaign ended with the Acererak battle, and they lost to Acererak. Acererak had 4 hit points left, but I think it was 4 or 6 hit points left before he started to retreat, written into the module, and they lost. So that was a big disappointment, but now we're doing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which is a campaign and a setting I'm very familiar with. One of my longest going campaigns with my dad and my little brother was in Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Started in Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and so it's something very near and dear to my heart. And obviously a little bit more established than Chult. The city of Waterdeep has been around since Greenwood, invented the Sword Coast and the Forgotten Realms and Faerun and all of that. And so there are a bunch of tools and things that, as we've established, I acquire completely legitimately. That really increase the immersion, the playability, not the playability, but the established lore. And that's something that I have always struggled with in my creation campaign, my homebrew setting, is that, even if you don't know the Forgotten Realms, you have all of this established lore. Does that make sense? So if you have a player that is completely new to D&D, you can give them a big list of gods, of places, of settings, of races, and established lore, everything in the monster manual is canon. There's nothing that you have to make up on the spot for them. And some of that is good in that, well, it's very good for new players and stuff, in that they can just take it and run with it. And not so good for established players that want something different and have been playing that all their lives and maybe want a change of pace, maybe want, something that they don't know, if that makes sense. Because I know that a lot of my players and myself, after so many Forgotten Realms campaigns, it's fucking Tiamat, Asmodeus, Acererak, it's the same character, and even settings like Barovia, where it's it's Strahd, what else is there going to be? It's Strahd, it's good and bad. It's a double-edged sword like anything. But that's what I try and do with creation, is try and get as much established lore by making those lists, by making those maps, by making as much material for my players as possible, so that I can hand it to them and be like, what does your brain see that does neuron activation here? But yeah, that's my little D&D rant. Hopefully soon we'll be seeing some more D&D. I really do not, as far as the channel goes, I have no idea what I'm gonna have time for. I mean, like I said, I have one class that I'm a little bit more worried about. It's a Theory 4 class, and I haven't taken a theory class in a couple of years, so I gotta brush up on my music theory. I really gotta brush up on my music theory, more than brush up, actually. But yeah, that's gonna be hopefully not too challenging. Hopefully not as challenging as a Souls-like game. But yeah, I'm gonna, like I said at the beginning of this kind of channel, it really kind of just depends on my mood. It depends on my availability. It depends on how I feel mentally and physically And ultimately, it really is just mood based. You know, sometimes, as you can see, for months at a time, I really don't just get the desire to do videos because I don't have the time to do videos. I don't think about doing videos. You know, I might passively think about it, but I don't really like, um, you know, it's not my every waking desire all the time, as much as I would like it to be. Um, but you know, I have other priorities, and it's saddening, but also that's reality. You know. Uh, Regardless, I hope that more videos will be coming out. You know, I'm the one who controls that, but I hope that it happens. That I can find the motivation and the time and the creative juices to to make this content, because especially like in that September and that August, I really had a lot of fun making a video, 2 videos every week. And I even, you know, when I have a bad day, I find myself going back and watching them and reminiscing already, which again was kind of like one of the reasons that I started this channel, is to be able to go back and look at a tangible, not really achievement, but something that I produced. Um, Other than just, you know, oh, I video gamed for, and look, my Steam, uh, my Steam hours played count has gone up. You know, that's not as nostalgic as, you know, a video where you see yourself playing games. You see like how you were that week. You know what you felt the need to compile into a video, what you felt the need to record, what you felt the need to talk about. You know, especially like looking at, I was, the most recent one I looked at was the week where I really played a lot of Turtle WoW as um, the sorceress, or whatever the class is called, the wizard, whatever. Um, and I'm like, man, I haven't played Turtle WoW in a while. Like, why did I ever stop playing that? And it's kind of, you know, it's just, it's funny, you know. It's I really like this format as kind of like a video journal, and you know, just for me, and hopefully for some other people as well in the future. But yeah, I don't have a whole heck of a lot to say, other than I really appreciate kind of how fortunate I am to be able to have opportunities to go to school and, you know, play video games and have a break and have a Christmas and have a loving family and support system that cares for me, despite how tumultuous and stressful work and school and everything is. I kind of have to remind myself, like, you know, that is in and of itself, those stressors are kind of a signal of privilege, or just privilege. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it or down talking it. It's just I'm very lucky to have everything that I have. And in true Michael searches for dopamine fashion, I think that can translate maybe into the game a little bit. And you know, the ability to, okay, how am I gonna do this? Let's see. So the ability to, you know, Cal Kestis in the video games is a very tortured character. You know, he has all of these struggles, whether it be, you know, surviving the purge in Order 66 of the Jedi. You know, at the beginning of this game, you see him stand up and see that the Jedi Temple has been turned into Emperor Palpatine's palace. You know, you see all of these things that you grew up with, and these good memories that you had, and you know, these once great parts of your life that have been replaced by more daunting responsibilities, like taking on the Empire. And you look at all of this and you're like, man, I really wish that I could go back to when I was a Padawan, or when I was happy, when I had a master, and when everything was right, ostensibly. But I think in and of itself, having the uh, you know being able to channel the force, and having the training, and having the lightsaber, and having the master and Senna, um, having the Mantis, having the crew, having BD1, all of the support system that allows you to action change around you, and change your situation, is in and of itself a privilege. It's it's hard to deal with a lot of the trouble and stuff that you have, but you have to remember that there are so many people in the universe and the galaxy and the outer rim and on Coruscant even, that don't have this ability to change their situation, don't have the wherewithal, the training, the ability. They are unable to affect change in their situation. And I think that remembering that you can, whether it's for you or it's for other people or it's for anyone, is in and of itself a privilege. And that's my spontaneous metaphor that I came up with for my situation to the game, whatever this is called, Fallen Order. But yeah, as corny as that may sound, I had a speech teacher once told me that I did extemporaneous speaking in high school, and he always said that there is a Star Wars intro for any topic, and so you could be talking about whatever, and you could relate it to Star Wars, unlike the Empire, blah blah blah. In this situation, I don't know, I can't think of one on the spot. I'm not. You already got one metaphor. I'm not giving you a damn speech intro too. All right, be grateful for what you have. No, but yeah. I think Star Wars is a great universe, and I am glad. I think one of the another game that I really need to play is Outlaws. I have it, I just haven't been playing it. Maybe I can play it on this channel a little bit after I finish Fallen Order, of course. After I finish Fallen Order on the Grandmaster Jedi difficulty. Thank you very much. But yeah, Star Wars is such a great universe because it's far enough away from real life that it feels like fantasy, but it's close enough to real life that you can apply it to real life. Anyway, without getting too deep and mystical into the living force, I think we will start to call it farewell here. And hopefully I will see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.